Hey, it's Steph. Thanks for watching today's video. I have another update for my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. This is a project pan created by Alexi originally, so I will have her channel linked down below. But everyone who participates kind of changes the rules according to their panning goals and style, so I will get into my goals in a moment. But if you're not familiar with my channel, I do mostly panning content, which means I'm actively working through my collection of makeup and beauty items, trying to finish things up and get good use out of what I already own. I am on my second no buy year in a row, and I use projects like this to help me work through my collection. If that sounds good to you, I hope you subscribe before you leave, and of course give this video a thumbs up. I do have a full face of makeup on, excluding my eyeshadow, because I always do a look at the end of these updates. Even if I don't roll in new shades, I like to show you different ways that I use each eyeshadow, and it might be a little peek at how I will be using it in the coming month. I think it's really fun, and it stretches my creativity using maybe some random color combinations, and I really love every look that I've created at the end of each of these updates. So I work on quite a few eyeshadows at a time. I work on 7, which is more than what I typically see in these videos. The first 3 are from randomized palettes. So I have a spreadsheet on Google that I have every single one of my eyeshadow palettes listed out alphabetically, and I randomize the palette and then I hand select each shade from those 3 palettes. So if I roll out an eyeshadow from one of my randomized palettes, I will replace it with another randomized palette and hand select my shade. The 4th and 5th shades in this project are from the Expand Those Pans project that is created by Dora from Fuchsia Soul. She created this project to get more use out of eyeshadows that we already have hit pan on, but we tend to neglect those shadows after we've hit pan, so we can move on to the next shadow and try to hit pan on another one. But I really wanted to get some use out of maybe some neglected shades, so I also have a spreadsheet on Google with all of the eyeshadows that I have hit pan on, so I randomized from that spreadsheet as well. The 6th and 7th are kind of utility shades. They're my lid setting shade and my brow shade, so I'm using this year to experiment with my eyeshadows, see how many pans I can get. And with my lid setting shades, I am doing a challenge with my makeup bestie Tina. She is on Instagram as Tina Misdemeanor. We are trying to hit, as many pans as possible in lid setting shades, but beat the other person. And whoever has the most pans in their lid setting shades gets to choose the item that the other person has to pan the following year, which I think is very fun but kind of scary. Hopefully we will be kind to each other, whoever wins the challenge, but currently we are tied. We've both hit pans in 2 lid setting shades. I think that's all I have to say. Oh, I forgot to say my goals. So for the 3 randomized palettes, I want to hit pan in those eyeshadows. That is my big goal for this year, to hit as many pans as possible. But if I have not hit pan by 30 uses, I do have the option to roll that eyeshadow out. For my Expand Those Pan shades, I want to use each of those shades 5 times just to get a little more use, maybe expand the pan a little bit. And then my lid setting shade and my eyebrow shade are to hit pan. So my mouth is already sore from talking. Let's get into it. The very first shade is the one that's been in here the longest. It is from my Lorac Pro palette. This is the Noir, and I rolled in the shade Majestic. This is a beautiful, like, mid-toned slate blue shimmer. And before this update, I had 9 uses total. I've used it 4 additional times for 13 uses total, and I have hit pan. I'm very excited. I knew I was close, but obviously you don't really know exactly how many uses it will take. So I have 13 uses total on this, and it is rolling out. This has just been a beautiful neutral lid shade for me. It's very cool tone, which is my jam, and I've really enjoyed working on that, but it is rolling out. The next eyeshadow comes from my Sydney Grace and Temptalia collab. This is the On the Horizon collab, and I rolled in the shade October Odyssey. The first month that this was in, I had 5 uses, and I was able to use this 6 additional times with a total of 11. Here is, you can kind of see a dent forming, which is very exciting. The shade is hard for me to use. It's very specific. All of the looks that I use with this obviously go red, but it has paired really nicely with my Pan That palette, which I'm trying to hit pan in a pink matte, and these pair really nicely together. So you will see that in the looks. But this one is staying in. It's going to be in here for a while, unfortunately. Definitely like not a favorite shade. My toddler is very like grabby and pinchy lately. Like he does it out of comfort. Whenever I hold him, he just automatically like grabs my skin and I don't know what to do. It hurts. It's like stings. And yeah. Little side note there. The last randomized palette was the Odin's Eye Jewels and Gem palette, and I hand selected the shade Seventh Heaven. I rolled this in last month because it already had a good dent in it. I had used this to franken a powder contour that I use every single day, and so it was kind of a gimme shade because I already was halfway to pan in my head, and I knew this shade was pretty powdery. So I've used it 5 times since rolling it in last update, and this is what it's looking like. I hit pan in those 5 uses, and I am honestly so surprised. I did not expect pan in 5 uses, but most of the time that I used this, it was on my lower lash line, so I was using quite a small kind of like pencil brush, and like I said, this is pretty powdery shade, very soft. Yeah, I mean, it's not the right time of the year for a grungy green, but I did really enjoy this color, and I'll miss it a little bit. I never thought I would say that about a grungy green, but I now have 3 pans in this palette, which is awesome. You can see these 2 shades and this shade. So I will be replacing 2 of those randomized palettes, but I'll do that kind of after I talk about all of the shades. The next 2 are my Expand Those Pan shades, and the first one comes from my Aether Beauty Rose Quartz palette. I rolled in the shade Trust, and like I said, my goal for these is to just use them 5 times. So I will put side-by-side photos of what it looked like, but I did use it 5 times, and hopefully the pan has expanded. I feel like it has. This is just a super easy, beautiful shade to use. I honestly will miss this one too. I feel like 5 uses was so easy to do, and it's just gorgeous right under that green. It's so beautiful. And I was able to do no pan left behind with this as well. I forgot to talk about that. I haven't completed no pan left behind with the other ones, except I had already done this one. So that shade is rolling out. And then the other Expand Those Pan shades was a single eyeshadow from Praise for Your Face. And it's the shade Hidden Treasure. And I was also able to use this my 5 times. So I will have side-by-side photos. Hopefully the pan has expanded a little bit. And again, this was just super easy to use. Beautiful topper. There it is. Hopefully you can see like the blue to pink shift. And that is rolling out. So I have a lot to roll in. But first, let me talk about my lid setting shade and my eyebrow shade. So my lid setting shade comes from my Lorac Pro Noir. I don't know if you caught it earlier, but it is the shade Ecru. I rolled this in last update, so I just have a month's worth of usage on it, and I've used it 20 times. So I've done my makeup 20 times since last update, and I really was hoping to hit pan, and I feel like I'm super close, but I have not hit pan just yet. But you can kind of see how deep it is. I feel like the pan will be in this lower section here. Maybe I'll hit pan this when I apply it, because I have not applied it yet today. I was planning on doing that in my look at the end. And then my eyebrow shade comes from my Half Cake Pretty Precious palette. And I had 13 uses on this last update, so I'll show you what it looked like. It did have a little dip forming, and I was able to use this 19 more times, and I did hit my pan. Cute little baby pan. So now I have 3 pans in this palette as well. And this was a lovely brow shade. I don't have anything in my brows today because I did want to use my new shade Rolling In and show you how I apply my eyeshadow. But yeah, I'm excited. So many pans. I've been on a roll lately. It's been really fun. So I'll just show you my new brow shade. It comes from, hopefully the dogs will stop barking. My neighbor's dogs. My new brow shade is going to come from my Winnie the Pooh collab with Catrice. This is the Friends Lift Each Other Up palette. I just love this packaging. It's so stinking cute. But there's a shade in here called Together. No, it's shade Thoughtful. I don't know why it was called Together, but it is this shade here. And like all of my other, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Is it going to focus? Hopefully that is focused. I love the cute little bee imprint, so I'm going to try to use it like next to the bee imprint and not ruin the bee imprint. But let me swatch this. I forgot to swatch the other ones. So it was weird. This was the Half Cake shade, and this is the shade in the Catrice one that I am rolling in today. It's slightly warmer, but I am kind of running out of options in my collection for my lid or my brow shades. So we'll just see. And then I figured, since I feel like I'm really close to rolling out my lid setting shade, I will tell you what I'm going to work on next, because I feel like I'm less than 5 uses away to hitting pan in that shade. So I'm going to work on my lid setting shade in this palette, and it's the shade Every Moment. It's this shade right here. So hopefully it will focus on that guy. And I don't feel like I need to swatch that. It's just like my skin tone. So, oh, I was like, I think that's all. No, I have to roll in a bunch of stuff. So like I said, I have a spreadsheet on my phone. So let me pull up a random number generator. I would love to use a wheel that everyone does. But I mean, I just haven't set it up yet. So let me start. I also don't have like room on my phone, so I'd have to grab my tablet for that. But let me change this to 55 and generate. Number 20. Oh, that's Taupe just wants to be in this project so bad. I don't want to. I don't want to. Sorry. I'm sorry. I had 3 shades in that palette in this project already this year. Number 14. Oh, yay. Lavish. Okay. Oops. So ColourPop Lavish. And then the next one, oh, number 12. That was quick. My ColourPop Bambi and Thumper. Oh, it likes ColourPop. Okay, I'm going to go down to my tab of with pan, and I currently have 69 eyeshadows with pan, so let me change my number to 69, and I got number 9. These are listed alphabetically, so number 9 is from my Pan That palette, which I'm not going to work on. Oh, number 69 is the very last one. That's from my Urban Decay Basics Skimp. I think that's a lid setting shade. I'm sorry, I don't want to do that. Number 34, ColourPop The Mandalorian Mythosaur. That's my brow shade that I hit pan in this project. I'm not doing that. 43, Half Cake Pretty Precious Baby Love. That's literally the brow shade I just rolled out. Why is this being so difficult? Number 6 is from Sultry, which is my Pan That palette. 8 is from Sultry. Number 31. Maybe I do need to have a wheel. That's taupe. Not doing it. Number 20. Finally, number 20 is my Bella Beauté Bar. I love this palette. Smoky Glam. They have just come out with like a redo of this palette. They're now magnetic pans, which is very exciting. And then hopefully this next one I can do. 69? Nope. Number 35. Okay, ColourPop Wild Nothing Coastline. Coastline. I think that's a light shimmer, maybe? Okay, so I will go grab all of these eyeshadows and I'll be right back. Okay, so far I've only swatched out my Expand This Pan shades and they're kind of boring, but they're going to be so easy to use. Well, I did swatch out the City Grace shade that's staying in, but this shade here is Milk Bath from Smoky Glam, Bella Beauté Bar. This is like my favorite palette in my collection. I have 3 pans in here. This shade here is Milk Bath. It's going to be really hard to see the pan, but hopefully you can. I think the pan expansion will be very easy on this one. I can literally just use this in my inner corner every day. So yeah. And then the other Expand Those Pans comes from my ColourPop Wild Nothing. I have decluttered quite a few shades out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4 shades out of here because they were either too warm, were a glitter, or a sequin, which is a matte with glitter in it. I honestly don't know if I will keep this. It's not like very special, but Coastline is the shade here. It's more like a satin shade, I would say. I'll show you the pan a little better. So that pan is teeny tiny. So hopefully it will expand a little, but this is it swatched out. It's like basically a satin version of my skin tone. So thankfully we got some cute colors rolling in. So the first one I'll talk about is the ColourPop and Bandy collab. Thumper. This is an adorable green palette. Yikes. I think I'll have to do a shimmer. And oh yeah, I feel like Miss Bunny, the shade here, would be the easiest. Wow, it kind of matches my nails a little bit. Is that too similar to my other ones that I'm rolling in? Let me swatch it on the back of my hand. Oh, it's like a golden, I think I can do that. That will be pretty for the summer. Very easy. Those go really well together. And now I have to pick from my Lavish palette from ColourPop. I love this palette so much. It is a beautiful, like, lavender leaning slightly blue, I feel, especially on me. I do have a pan here in the shade Escapism. I feel like I need a matte. I don't really need a matte. I would like a matte. I think I'm gonna be, oh, I don't know about that with the red. I was gonna pick this color. Should I do it online? Or I could go easy and do this for like a liner. Maybe I should do that. I just got very excited and I'm sure you did too. I'm sure you guys are yelling at me. I'm gonna play it safe. I know. I feel like I have made some really bold decisions in this project, including this red shade, so I want to be kind to myself this time and roll in Connect here. But you will see more of this palette. Like I said, I like to do No Pan Left Behind, so you will definitely see looks with this palette either on my Instagram or in this project update. This is like a beautiful smoky gray, which I have been leaning more toward like a gray liner instead of a black. It's a very messy swatch. But I feel like it's going to be a very simple look today. And I've done very fun and crazy looks at the end of my updates, so it's okay to do more like an everyday. I don't know what I'm going to do with this shade here. That might just be like a brow bone shade for me. But I'm going to zoom you guys in and I will start my look. I'm trying a new like base combination, so hopefully it doesn't look too bad. I am going to start off with my brows. So this is what my brows just look like naturally. I do just keep the same shape. But I like to just fill in the sparse areas. And I'm going to go in with my new shade. I have used this the last couple of days, so I know what it looks like, but it's fun to see on camera. So I like to start with the most product in my tail. Just kind of zhuzh it around. I am not picky about my brows at all. And that's basically what I do. That's it. Wow, look at how warm that looks compared to my brow hairs. Isn't that crazy? This shade looks, where is it? Gray. But on a gray person, aka a cool tone person, it looks kind of red. It's just nuts. Nuts, I say. Depending on the shade and depending on how I feel that day, I might go in with more product. But I feel kind of good about just dipping once today. So yeah, that's literally all I do for my brows every day. Sometimes I'll use a brow gel, but I don't really like remember half the time. So I'm gonna do my lid setting shade from Lorac. I want to do this on, like, show you just in case I hit pan. Nothing. You can kind of see that it turns my skin a little yellow. That is okay. It's hard to do this not looking at. Dang it. I really thought I was gonna hit pan. Five more uses. Sometimes I even go over with like my powder brush to kind of tone down the yellow because I don't know, it just looks yellow to me. So what are we gonna do here? I think I'm just gonna do the obvious, unfortunately. So I'm gonna go in with this in the crease. Just taking this like super fluffy brush. I think it has some product on it a little. I'm gonna wipe it off. Not too bad. I'm gonna go in super light-handed with this. I feel like that's one reason why this shade is gonna be in here forever, because I don't use a ton of product because it's so pigmented, and of course it's not really a shade that I would prefer. So I don't use like a ton of it, but look how powdery it is. And like I'm barely touching. So I feel like that will be used to my advantage. The powderiness will help me use it up quicker. I have slightly hooded eyes, so that just means my skin up here kind of covers my crease a little bit, so I like to bring the color up a little higher. I'm going to blend that edge out with my lid setting shade brush. Okay, now I'm going to go in. I'm just going to deepen the outer corner with this shade. I don't know if I have a good brush for this. And there's no mirror. Come on, ColourPop. There is a mirror in this teeny tiny. That makes no sense. What are you guys doing for summer? It's almost May. What holiday is at the end of May? It's like Memorial Day. I kind of miss like growing up, we would always go camping on Memorial Day. We would take advantage of the long weekend. And even like when I got married, we still went with my parents. But now with a toddler, it's kind of hard to plan that kind of stuff. He does not sleep the best. We have tried. He doesn't sleep the best in his pack and play, which is where he would sleep in the RV that my parents have. So I don't know. Well, I think we will still go camping, but it might not be like the whole weekend. We might just visit my parents wherever they're at. I'm going to bring this about halfway on my lower lash line and connect it to the top. That's pretty. I really like that color. It's a nice gray. Okay, now I'm going to take Miss Bunny from the Thumper palette, and I'm going to put that in my, like the center of my lid just with my finger. I did bring a glitter glue out in case I needed it. So I do have a little bit of fallout, but it's not too bad. And I do overlap on top of the gray a little bit. This is pretty. This is very pretty. Gray every day. What am I doing? Cannot see. Hopefully you saw that, because I don't know if I did. I don't know what to do with the this shade. This could easily be a lid setting shade for me, even though it's like a satin. I guess I will put it like as a brow bone. I don't know if it's gonna be too dark that way. I'm just gonna take my finger. I don't know. I literally never do this. Never, ever, ever. Well, I did do it when I was trying to use my Urban Decay Naked Basics 2, I think. There was like a kind of a satin shade like this in there, and I kind of used it as my brow bone, but that doesn't really do a ton. And now for the inner corner shade from my Bella Beauté bar. I have a special brush for my inner corner. Where is it? Here it is. It's a mini Ego Tools. It's just like a flat little skinny brush that will help expand the pan a little bit. Bam. I feel like the inner corner is like the star because it's so impactful. I guess I could bring this. There's like a blank space here. So I think I will extend that, make this like very shimmery. Is it too much? Should I just go over this? When I say too much, I'm saying like, is there balance like with the shimmers? Like, is my lid shade not shimmery enough for this glittery inner third? I'm also going to throw this on my lower. What is going on there? I don't know what's happening here. I got it a little low. That's okay. Okay, that's pretty. Let me add just some more mascara because I feel like it's gotten a little lost. Just using my Essence. I feel like this is going to be an empty in June, maybe. We're going into May now. Are you guys doing anything fun for the summer? We don't really plan that far ahead. Yeah, we'll see what we do. But here is the look. I really, really like it. Let me zoom you out and we can look at it with everything. Yeah, I really like this. And I wore a very neutral like lip because I never know what my eye look is going to be. But I really like this. I could wear this every day. Very easy, very simple. look. Let me know if you would have used these shades in a different way or if you would have done the same thing. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with my color story. I feel like my Expand Those Pan shades will go really quickly, and these three work really well together. So here are my two color stories. Definitely different, but yeah, different is not always bad. If you enjoyed, I hope you give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you're not already. I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.